This is W6, where RJ Broadhead dives into the who, what, where, when, why, and how they all come together for a Tiger Cats win.
Leading into the home opener, we hear from head coach Orlondo Steinauer and starting quarterback Matt Schiltz. The who this week is, who are the Tiger Cats? They are 0-2. They've turned the ball over 7 times in 2 games. They've allowed the most points in the CFL. They've allowed the most yards rushing and have taken a lot of penalties. Those last couple are uncharacteristic traits that you can bet will be improved upon as the season goes on. This is a team that is clearly still trying to find its identity for 2023. Here's Coach O.
I think we're still getting a read, to be honest with you. And I think, RJ, even if we had, if we were 2-0, I still probably couldn't tell you exactly who we are. I think, we're a little bit banged up, so that's part of the reason we're going to see some new faces and whatnot. But I know there's things that we'd like to do, but, you're always evolving and week to week. And that's kind of the fun. That's kind of the beauty and the challenge and something we're embracing. Along the way, you got to win. That's the bottom line, and we understand that. And so every time we take the field and every time we go to practice, we're preparing to win. And so to answer you directly, I'd say no. Our identity isn't exactly. You can't really identify it at this point in time. It's about finding a way to win. I wouldn't say that we're a smorgasbord. We're not a little bit of everything. I still think we're a physical team. I still think we play hard with great effort. We're evolving. We've got to cut our penalties down, and we've got to find the ball in the end zone and find a way to take the ball away. But that's every week, and basically every game that I've ever coached in. That's what you're trying to get done.
With Bo Levi Mitchell injured, we know who the Ticats starting quarterback will be against Montreal. Matt Schiltz. He looked great against Toronto, going 13 for 14 and 115 yards. He threw a touchdown, a 2-point convert, and this will be a great challenge for him.
It's great, just as a competitor, it's what you work for. It's unfortunate in the situation, and I feel for Bo and dealing with an injury, but it's part of the game, and it's part of what we sign up for. So it's that next man up mentality. But I'm super grateful for the opportunity, and I'm ready to just go out there and do whatever I can to help the team win, regardless if I'm slated to be the starter or going in as a backup. I'm gonna prepare the same way and kind of keep that same consistent approach to the game. That to when I do get that opportunity, if it's in the first quarter or there in the fourth quarter, that I want to go out there and be able to perform for the team and be counted on in that way. So there's just a combination. When you're out there playing, it's just playing loose, playing free, and trusting your eyes and making a play. Every week it's just a little bit different, because we're seeing a different opponent and they're showing different coverages and all that sort of stuff. So, we get in the think tank, as we call it, with Bo and myself and Taylor and Tommy, and we kind of come up with some different things that we think might work that week. And depending on our personnel, depending on the other team's personnel and what we're seeing, and then we just try to go out and practice the reps. And it becomes a little bit tougher on a shorter week, with playing on Sunday and then having this quick turnaround. So, we're just worried about what we can go out there and execute and do well and go out there and leave it all out on the field.
The head coach has a lot of confidence in Matt Schiltz.
I feel extremely confident. I mean, we wanted to retain Matt for a reason. And, like I've said, there's only a couple teams last year that were afforded the luxury of having their opening day starter finish. And, I think the importance of a backup is, it's paramount. And Matt not only is a backup for us, he's now a starter and more than capable. And so the expectations are high for him, and I know they're high for himself. And I just really feel like I'm excited for him and for our football team. I think he's an extremely confident guy, and I'm looking forward to him taking the reins.
On to the what. Through 2 games for the Ticats and 1 for Montreal, what are the statistics that stand out? The Ticats have averaged the most points allowed. Montreal only scored 19 points in their game. The Ticats have 7 turnovers in 2 games, which has resulted in 31 points for their opponents. That's not good because Montreal had 5 takeaways against Ottawa. The Ticats have only had 1 field goal attempt and 1 one-point convert attempt in 2 games. On the other hand, they've tried 5 2-point converts and have been successful on 2 of them. The Ticats reduced the number of penalties from 17 in Game 1 to 7 in Game 2. Montreal allowed 6 quarterback sacks against Ottawa. The Ticats have just 2 quarterback sacks in 2 games. You can bet the Ticats will be trying to get after Al's quarterback, Cody Fajardo. Hamilton has the second most 2-and-outs with 11 in 2 games. And Montreal was really good, forcing Ottawa to 10 2-and-outs in their 1 game. Montreal has not allowed a touchdown yet. Defense is a strength of Montreal's. Here's Coach.
Nothorp's always done a decent job of always fielding competitive defenses, no matter where he's been. And, I think that, they've done a great job early. And, the other thing about playing early is just not a lot of tape. There's not a lot of tape on teams this early in the season. And so that's when, you really got to focus on yourself and make sure things are going well and getting better. That's the big thing.
Matt Schiltz knows he'll have to be ready for a tough test.
They're going to be really physical, and they're going to be well coached. They're going to want to get after the quarterback, and they got guys in the back end that can can cover the receivers. So it's going to be a good battle for us. But at the end of the day, we just got to go out there and execute and play our game, play Ticat football, and go out there and move the football and put some points on the board to help our defense out. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
The where this week is easy. It's Tim Hortons Field. It's the home opener. Home has been sweet for the Ticats. Last season, they went 6-3 at home, which ended up being the second most points earned at home in the CFL. You can't judge a team until they play a home game. Here's Steinauer, followed by Schiltz.
Every time you step out there, you got to love playing at Tim Hortons Field. I even loved, playing at Ivor Wynn, whether I was an Argonaut or I was a Ticat. It's always a great time for everybody. And, the fans, coaches, players, it's one of those things that I always say, RJ, you have to experience. You just kind of got to come down and experience it. Talking about it really does it a disservice.
Do you know your record at home?
I don't.
22-5. That's pretty good.
That's not hateful. Let's make it 23-5. That's what would resonate really nice.
Well, we're so excited. It's going to be great getting back into the donut box and playing in front of the home fans. We're excited to get out there and be out there in the community and go get a big win for them.
When will that first win come? Maybe Friday. We already established that Tim Hortons Field is an advantage for the Ticats. There have been so many new players for the Ticats this season. Of the 25 players listed on the depth chart on offense and defense, 16 are different from Game 2 of this season compared to last year's Eastern semifinal. Coach O admits it takes time for a team to come together.
Well, it just depends if you actually keep that same group together for a series of weeks or if you're continually replacing them. Right? And that's why I alluded to earlier. It's about you finding a way to win along the way, because every team in every league experiences injuries. So the number totals often are equal, but it's where you're injured, and for how long they're out. Right? All injuries aren't equal, and so I think it's always different. So no, I don't have an exact time frame for the 2023 team. I could tell you, it's easy to look back. I can tell you about previous teams and how long it took for those type of things. Even in 19 and those, but as far as predicting what it's going to look like and how long it's going to take, because you can win games along the way and not be gelled. So I don't really equate gelling with wins per se. They don't always go hand in hand, because you can win a lot of different ways.
Why are the Ticats 0-2? They've had 2 very difficult opponents, the 2 who played in the Grey Cup. Both road games. They've taken penalties. They've turned the ball over. Here's what the head coach thinks.
We haven't been disciplined. And by discipline, that's a strong word. It's like we were out of control. We weren't out of control. We just took penalties at terrible spots in the game, and we turned the ball over, at terrible times of the game, and you've got to score points, and you've got to keep them off the board. And we've started slow. I think we've come out in the second half of both games and played some more recognizable Tiger Cat football. And when you don't take care of the football, or you turn the ball over, down in the scoring territory, or you're giving up explosions on defense, it just makes it really hard to win. So when you point to those critical statistics and facts, you definitely can see why we've had challenges and been on the wrong side of the scoreboard the first 2 weeks.
If Hamilton can beat Montreal, they will be tied for first in the East Division heading into a bye week. Looking ahead, out of that bye, the Ticats will play winless Ottawa at home, then in Edmonton, where the Elks have struggled, and Toronto at Tim Hortons Field to conclude the first third of the season. Bottom line is, despite an 0-2 start, a lot can change with a win Friday in the home opener against Montreal. Ticats Audio Network will have the pregame at 6:30, and kickoff between the Tiger Cats and Alouettes is at 7:30.
Now that you've got your W6 for this week's game, give the Ticats Audio Network a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your audio content.